Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to show you step by step how to create an automation that uses an API request. Let's get started. First, we need to install AutoX. This app is essential for creating automations because without it, the process becomes much more complicated. Once it's installed, open AutoX and enable both accessibility services and floating window. With these two permissions enabled, we're ready to begin. In this example, I'll be using TikTok Lite, but the process is almost the same for any app. First, add the Open App action and select the application you want to launch. Then, add a time wait action for 10 seconds. This gives the app enough time to load completely. Now, open the app manually. We'll need to collect the information from the Use Phone or Email button so the automation can identify it. To do that, open AutoX, tap the floating icon, press the blue button, select Layout Range Analyses, and then tap the Use Phone or Email button. After that, tap View Control Information. Look for one of the available selectors, such as Full ID, Desk, or Text. In this example, I'll use the Text selector, but you can choose whichever selector works best. Next, go back to your automation and add a click action. Select the same selector type you found and paste its value. Whenever you paste a selector, remove the quotation marks and any unnecessary characters, leaving only the text inside the quotes. Once that's done, exit AutoX's inspection mode and add another time wait of 5 seconds so the next screen has enough time to load. Now, let's configure the date selection screen. We'll use the scroll action, but first we need to obtain the element coordinates. Enable Android's developer options by going to Settings, opening About Phone, scrolling to the bottom, and tapping Build Number several times until you see the message, "You are now a developer." Then go back to Settings, search for Pointer Location, and enable it. You'll now see the X and Y coordinates displayed at the top of the screen. Return to the app and press and hold on the element you want. Note the X and Y coordinates shown at the top, then use those values in the scroll action. For the scroll distance, use random values to make the automation look more natural. Repeat the same process for the remaining date columns. Once the scroll actions are configured, we need to click the Next button. Open AutoX again, use Layout Range Analyses, select the Next button, open View Control Information, and copy the best selector available. Then create another click action, paste the selector, and add another 5-second delay for the next screen to load. Now it's time to make our API request. Add an HTTP request action, choose either the GET or POST method, and paste your request URL. Then click Request Test to verify that everything is working correctly. In this example, the API returns a phone number and an activation ID. I'll save them into the variables phone number and activation ID, but I'll only use the phone number variable. Since many apps automatically include the country code, we need to remove it before entering the phone number. To do that, we'll use a code script action. We'll pass the phone number variable into the script, remove the country code, and save the cleaned number into a new variable. Now, all that's left is entering the phone number into the app. Use AutoX once again to get the full ID of the phone number input field. Then, add an input action, paste the selector, and use the cleaned phone number variable as the input value. And that's it! Your automation can now launch an app, navigate through its screens, perform an API request, retrieve a phone number, process it automatically, and enter it into the correct field. Now, simply run the automation and test it. Let's see it working in action. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.